Welcome to a very special edition of Designing Spaces, Pet Spaces, the show that's all about you and your space and how they relate to your pets. I'm Debi Marie. When we say spaces for pets, we really mean it, as today we are adopting a shelter, Big Dog Ranch Rescue, a no-kill shelter that sits on 28 acres of land in Wellington, Florida. And when Designing Spaces is involved, you know we're going to have all great things in store. We'll team up to give their food pantry a much-needed makeover. Plus, we'll help pet owners learn how to diagnose and treat pet allergies. We'll show you how to avoid over-vaccinating your pets. And we'll renovate and modernize their much-needed surgical room. Plus, we're going to follow some families who are leaving home with a new family member, just like this little one. So stay with us right here on Designing Spaces, Pet Spaces. In 2011, the Humane Society estimated that 6 to 8 million dogs and cats are housed in shelters in the United States every year. Well, for the more than 160 dogs that live here at the Big Dog Ranch, it's more than just a shelter. It's a place they call home. Big Dog Ranch Rescue is a no-kill shelter that sits on 28 acres of land in Wellington, Florida. They currently house more than 150 small and big dogs. Plus, they have more than 200 dogs in foster homes across the state. Led by a strong management team, their dedicated staff and large number of volunteers oversee about 30 adoptions a week and give it their all every day.
What I love about Big Dog Ranch is there's just so much more than just, taking a dog from a kill shelter and finding it a home. That makes Big Dog Ranch what it is. It's definitely community.
Being selected for a forever makeover is a dream come true.
We are so very, very thankful that Designing Spaces found us and that they've come in and helped us out with so many needed things. It's going to make an incredible difference.
As with all families looking to adopt a new pet, there are many questions about what to feed their dog. Just like their human counterparts, dogs have likes and dislikes and nutritional requirements that affect their health and happiness. Meet Dr. Greg Aldrich, an expert in pet food and nutrition from Kansas State University. He is here to help the Big Dog Ranch provide proper nutrition for all of their dogs. Dr. Greg, thank you so much for being here.
Debbie, it's a pleasure. Thank you for the invitation.
Now, there's so many different kinds of choices out there when it comes to dog food. So what do we look for?
There are a wide variety of different foods available to the pet owner.
Right.
So a couple of things, if I can go to this package,
okay.
You can see that right off the bat they're telling us this is for a puppy. And then if we turn over to the back, this is information in many cases that all of the pet food companies put on their packaging, and all of this critical information is regulated by the state and federal agencies. And there's a statement down here that's a nutritional adequacy statement that in essence says that this food complies with the rules and regulations, and it meets well over 40 different nutrients that are required by state and federal rules. In addition, there's also this panel called the guaranteed analysis.
Right.
And this information gives us the breakdown of what the protein and the fat and the fiber are in this diet.
Kind of like people food. That first one should be protein.
Yeah, the magic ingredient.
Yeah,
list.
right?
Absolutely. Well, actually, it can be protein, and generally protein is one of the more expensive elements, and so we try to accentuate that towards the top of the label. Most of the ingredients in this label are going to be in this top half. About 90% are contained in this top half of this ingredient panel. Below that, we're into the vitamins and minerals.
Now, we've talked about dry food, and there's wet food behind you. So how do we know which is best for our dog? Should we do a combo of both?
It really depends on what's right for your family and your pet. Just recognize that dogs really like the wet foods out of cans, but they can be a little bit more challenged to use. A lot of folks will use a canned food as a treat or a complement to the dry diet.
Oh, I never thought of that.
And then we take some of that amount of food away from the dry, otherwise we end up feeding them too much.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that.
And we've got too many fat dogs out there today.
And also on the bag I saw the serving size, so definitely follow that.
Absolutely. So when we're looking at the pet, one of the rules I try to use is to go back to the back ribs, and if you can feel across the back ribs, the ribs protruding just ever so slightly, then your dog is probably in the right condition.
The ribs should feel like the back of your finger.
Actually,
okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Dr. Greg, thank you so much for being here today. Lots of questions answered for all of our pet owners, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, well, you can see all the food behind me. This was all donated by Nature, and the team from By Nature is joining Meg and Lori in the front, so let's go meet up with them.
So much. Well, once we learned about all the wonderful things that Big Dog Ranch Rescue does for homeless and abandoned pets, we wanted to help. And so we're providing 5,000 pounds of food per month for the next year to feed all of the dogs in the rescue.
That is incredible. So, Lori and Meg, what does that mean to you and to the Big Dog Ranch?
Well, it's amazing for us to have good food to feed our dogs. It will save us $5,000 a month to be able to use elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly
to help the dogs.
What do you think, Meg?
In addition to, giving all the dog food for the entire shelter, they're also donating a specialty food of salmon and grain-free food for all of our skin dogs that we like to take at Big Dog Ranch.
That is wonderful. So it's really, really helping a lot.
Amazing.
Aww.
It's huge.
And you also have another surprise. So tell us about that.
We are really excited to be following 3 special dogs from Big Dog Ranch into their forever home, and we'll be following them in their transition from pet to member of the family over the next 12 months.
That's going to be fun to watch. I would love that. So where can our viewers learn more about By Nature?
At www.bynaturepetfoods.com.
Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're also going to have a link to their website on ours at designingspaces.tv.
Don't go away. Pet Spaces will be right back.
Welcome back to Designing Spaces, Pet Spaces, coming to you today from Big Dog Ranch Rescue in Wellington, Florida. Today, Designing Spaces is adopting a shelter. We are at the Big Dog Ranch, where the medical team spends a lot of their time working on getting the dogs healthy, and one way is through vaccinations. We are joined by Dr. Ron Schultz, a world-renowned leader in vaccine protocol, to show us how we can tell if a dog has been properly vaccinated. Dr. Schultz, thank you so much for joining us here on Pet Spaces, and we're joined by Dr. Traxler as well. We appreciate it.
I'm pleased to be here.
So let's get right into vaccinations. How important are they for our dogs?
Well, vaccination is one of the most important medical procedures that dog will ever have. And it's especially important that he receives the core vaccines, which are distemper, parvo, adeno, and rabies.
From the get-go?
From the get-go.
Okay. Now, if we get a dog from a shelter and we're not sure if they're vaccinated, is there such thing as over-vaccination?
There is, of course, with animals coming into the shelter, not knowing whether they had ever been vaccinated before.
Right.
So with an antibody test that will look at antibodies to distemper, parvo, and adeno, we can determine whether the dog has been vaccinated or not. For example, this test is called VacciCheck, and the VacciCheck is a test that you can run multiple dogs on. This immunocomb can actually run 12 dogs at the same time.
Perfect for a shelter.
It is, and it only takes a very short period of time after you have the serum, about 30 minutes. This is an example of Coco, and Coco has immunity to adenovirus, which is important, and canine parvo, but the immunity for distemper is really inadequate, or there's no immunity that we can actually see. And so he would need to be revaccinated because distemper is very important, and we have to make sure that he's protected.
Okay, and that's perfect because that shows you that he's not going to be over-vaccinated, that
Correct.
He does need. Okay. Now, what if we get a puppy? When should we vaccinate?
Well, puppies, you really shouldn't start them before 6 weeks of age.
Okay.
And ideally, you'll revaccinate about every 3 weeks. In the shelter, we actually recommend every 2 weeks. So that in that high-risk environment, you get immunity as quickly as possible.
Now, are these tests done at home that we as pet owners do, or is this something done at the veterinarian's office?
This would be something done at the veterinarian's office or done in the shelter when the animal arrives. And so at the veterinarian's office, it would be part of the annual wellness visit that every dog should receive.
Okay, so it's not something we would need to ask of our vet.
You may very well need to ask your veterinarian to test for antibody rather than automatically giving another vaccine that isn't necessary.
Well, lots of useful information. I mean, we all need to know that. So thank you so much for being here. And for our viewers that want to learn a little bit more, where can they go?
They can go to vaccicheck.com and get more information about this test.
This will help at the Big Dog Ranch?
Yes, it will.
Absolutely.
I'm very excited.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
We're also going to have a link to their website on ours at designingspaces.tv, so be sure to check that out. There are so many great people that work and volunteer here at Big Dog Ranch. And there are so many dogs just waiting to be adopted. And the families that are here today are about to do just that.
Well, this is Henry, and we decided that for my birthday today we were going to come find someone just like him to take home with us.
Well, Henry is really laid back, Keith, as you can see, and that's exactly what we need.
This is Indigo, and we just adopted him, and we're really excited to bring him home. We met him through a friend of ours, and now we are going to bring him home and be a part of our family.
Around the country, a large number of pets are surrendered to shelters as a result of unresolved problems with allergies. That's right, just like people, dogs have allergies too. This is Ernie, a Catahoula mix who suffers from chronic ear infections and multiple skin issues. Ernie was surrendered by his owner and thankfully is now being treated by the medical team at Big Dog Ranch.
Unfortunately, a lot of time, people don't know how to identify the problem or what can be done to control allergies. So to give us a better understanding, we have veterinarian Dr. Jim Humphreys here with us today. So happy that you're joining us at the Big Dog Ranch on Pet Spaces.
I love being at the Big Dog Ranch.
You're in the perfect place, right?
I love big dogs, and so I'm happy.
So let me ask you, when it comes to allergies, is there a clue for all of us pet owners that something we should be looking for?
Allergies present as itching, scratching, licking, and chewing.
Right.
So the first thing you think is, well, fleas or bacterial infection.
Or itchy skin or something like that.
Yeah, but once you've ruled that out, and it's pretty easy to do, then we begin as veterinarians to think of allergy. It's very common, and it's also not that hard to treat. It's a little difficult to diagnose. We have skin testing, classically, that's what we did. But now we have a blood test where we can identify exactly what they're allergic to. Is it pollens or molds or dusts or fleas and things like that? The symptoms you're going to see are licking the sides, licking the paws, and then you'll see redness of the belly and redness in the ears. And ear infections that won't go away. That's a very good sign of allergy. And so what we have to do is modify the immune system, change it, re-educate it. And we do that with what we call immunotherapy. So we identify what they're allergic to. We give them little bits of it over time in increasing amounts. And that tells the immune system, don't worry about this. So when you're exposed to the pollen and the mold, relax. And that's the cure of allergy.
Okay, so how are we giving that to the dogs? Is it an injectable?
Yeah, classically it's been an injectable. Now we have something cool called oral drops, and it's in this little bottle, and this special. And here's what's nice about this. People are afraid of giving shots to their dogs. Dogs are afraid of getting shots. You bet. Now it's 2 squirts in the mouth twice a day, and that's immunotherapy.
Now, this isn't common to all dogs. Like, this would be specific to your own dog.
That is formulated based on the allergy test we sent in, so it's specific to your dog. But it goes under the tongue, not just in the mouth, under the tongue.
Got it.
There are special cells there that stimulate the immune system and says, hey, we're going to just not be worried about these severe allergies anymore. The redness will start to go away, the licking of the paws, and we are literally curing allergies.
How long?
It takes 1 to 3 months to see some change, and we know it works in 60% of all dogs. When you consider the complexity of the biochemistry of this, that's an amazing amount. And one more point that's very interesting. A lot of people that are watching right now have their dogs on these shots because that's all we've had.
Right, that's all we know.
Many of those fail. If you put those dogs on the oral drops, half of all those dogs respond well. will begin to modulate their immune system. So it's a great idea. It's called Allercept Oral Drops.
Okay.
I highly recommend them. It's going into my practice immediately. The reason is it's just been announced. This is brand new.
Got it. Okay. So it's something that now that we know, we can bring it up when we go to the vet office.
That's right. I just think it's going to revolutionize the number of animals that are scratching, itching, miserable, painful are going to get rid.
Which a good example, you met Ernie earlier today. Now, no one knew what was wrong with him, and it's allergies,
and that's
right?
not uncommon, where they just come in and scratchy, itchy, and red.
Right.
Ernie's the perfect case. Guess what? Ernie's going on these Allercept oral drops right now, and we're going to see, and I've asked to have them send me pictures in 1 month, 3 months, 6 months.
Right, just to see the progress.
I want to see him get better.
I think he's here. He wanted to say hi.
Oh.
Let's bring Ernie out.
Where's Ernie?
There he
Ernie.
is,
Ernie.
with Marianne and Dr.
Hi, buddy.
Traxler. Hi.
Doc, how are you?
Thank you for bringing Ernie over.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get you some help. All right. Good boy.
Thanks for bringing him by.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
So where can our viewers learn more?
Heska.com. It's
Okay.
Heska. And they can learn a lot of information as well as from their veterinarian. Get a brochure about these oral drops. Believe me, this is the future of immunotherapy.
Absolutely. And we're also going to have a link to Heska on our website at designingspaces.tv. So be sure to check it out.
Don't go away. Pet Spaces will be right back. Let's go, Howard.
Some of the dogs that arrive here at the Big Dog Ranch have health problems or they've been abused. Occasionally, surgery is required.
Up until now, we've had to transport all of our dogs off-site for any type of surgical procedure, which they've already been in a stressful environment in the shelter, and it just creates more stress on the dogs.
Things have changed for the better. Surgical operations can now be performed here on site because thanks to friends of the Big Dog Ranch, they now have a fully equipped surgical suite. Providing these services on site can be the difference between life and death for many dogs.
Amy, the surgical equipment that's used on dogs when they go to the vet, is it the same as when we go to the hospital?
It's very close.
Okay.
A lot of the surgery equipment that you see here is very similar to what's used on you and I when we go to see our doctor or when we have surgeries.
Right.
I think a lot of people don't realize the level of expense and the sophistication of equipment that we actually use on our family pets.
Absolutely. I didn't know that, and that explains the added expense that vets have to.
Absolutely.
So what does this new equipment mean for Big Dog Ranch? This was all donated, correct?
Absolutely. This was donated by a company called Leading Edge, and to have Leading Edge be able to donate this amount of equipment is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen every day.
No.
And this equipment is going to allow the veterinarian here on staff to care for animals a lot faster. They're not going to have to transport them, which obviously raises their stress level.
Right, and they've already been under so much
Exactly.
stress. Right.
So by having this equipment here, the veterinarian is going to be able to provide a level of care that they haven't been able to do before on site and respond to emergencies.
True.
And, you know, seconds can mean all the difference.
Absolutely. So better care for the dog.
The training session is a success, and the team is ready to get to work and help our dogs in need of medical attention, bringing them one step closer to being ready for adoption into their new forever home.
We are so grateful to Leading Edge Veterinary Equipment for giving us all this wonderful equipment and finally allowing us to have our hospital open.
This is a dream come true for us at Big Dog Ranch. The volunteers, the staff, and all the dogs that you're helping us save. Thank you so much.
Well, on behalf of Leading Edge and Butler Shine, you are more than welcome. What you do for the animals and the lives that you save is tremendous. And thank you.
Thank you so much.
Don't go away. Pet Spaces will be right back. Come on, buddy. Come on, boy.
We would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to all of our sponsors, partners, and volunteers who teamed up for today to make this possible here at Big Dog Ranch. Well, I'm going to stick around and help out and, I don't know, maybe take home a little one of my own, or 2 or 3. Oh my goodness, look at that face. Thanks for joining us here on Designing Spaces, Pet Spaces. We'll see you soon.
This is Freddie.
Freddie. Hi, baby.
Freddie. He's a golden doodle.
A golden doodle.
Yeah, he's about 1.5 years. I had heard the story that he's a high anxiety dog. He was rescued behind a house. Then we saw him at an event, and I had to have him because he looked like a big bear. He's fine. He's perfect for us. So we're excited.
Got him? Congratulations. You're welcome.
Hi, Ben. Oh, hello, buddy. This is your new family.
Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/dspacestv or friend us on Facebook. Type in the words Designing Spaces. You can visit these websites to learn more about the participants on this edition of Designing Spaces.